A wonderful good morning. You can still lay in your bed or sit up, however you like. Keep your eyes closed and completely arrive into this new day. This completely new day. A day where you can again and again and again decide everything new. Everything. Every day. Today is your gifted day. Take a few deep breaths in. Feel the energy of that day coming into you. Giving you back your presence right now. Breathe in and breathe out. And come more and more into this day. Feel how the energy is alive in your body. Your legs, move a little bit your legs. Move your arms. Connect, reconnect to your body. Let your mind follow slowly. Come aware of each part of your body. And inhale into each part to aliveness. And now, walk through your day. How do you feel if you can decide everything brand new, being you in every moment, being completely you, feeling you? Feeling you doing, feeling you talking. Feeling you hearing things, receiving information. How do you receive it? How does it feel? How does it feel when you respond? How do you feel? How does it feel? How does your body feel? What is the position of your whole body? Where are your shoulders? Are they leaned back? And your breast? Is your breast sticking out? How is your head? Where is your head? Is it high up? A little bit high up? does it feel? If you like that, take it with you through your day. You can decide in every moment to feel that way, to have that position of all your parts of your body this way. How are your hands? Are your hands open, moving when you're explaining, talking? Are they moving? Are they touching? Are they connecting to another body in a funny way or in an intense, intimative way? Or in a motivation way? Just feel how you feel. You can decide to feel in a certain way that you would like. No matter what you have on your plan today, work, children, household, whatever it is, sport. Maybe you change your mind and do some sport when you get up. 7-minute power workout, maybe. Or some yoga. Or maybe you sit down and read a book, a few pages of a book, to start that engine of joy right in the morning, the first thing. And then feel how all around you responds to you, to this feeling, how it reflects back what you're sending out for a warm, happy or joyful. It can be a deep joy or a very excited happiness, whatever it comes up and wants to be felt today. Let it be there, come up, let it come as you like. And now you can open your eyes. Take a few more deep breaths and take this joy with you into your day, into each action that your human body is doing today. Have a wonderful day. And always remember, you are the lottery win that you gave yourself. Your soul wants to make experience. Every morning it comes back into your body. It connects to you and wants to explore and experience everything that there is. So allow it all to come to you, to pull all kinds of experiences to you, and have joy, no matter what it is. If it has something to do with anger, with death, with pain, or the opposite, with a happy meeting with someone, or enjoying time with someone, with your children, or having a funny talk, a funny joking time with someone you really like to laugh with, or if you work on something that you want to achieve. Give all your energy into it, your joyful energy. And everything will respond the same way you are feeling.
Without the ability to recognize your emotions, the emotions take you over completely. What that means is the emotions, when emotional influx comes, it takes you over, it controls what you say, it controls what you do, it controls what you think. Then the emotion is in charge of you. And what is an emotion? And again, like a thought is an energy entity, an emotion too is an entity that is an energy form. You cannot see it, but you can only see how it manifests in the external world. But an emotion is an energy form that lives in you. It's a little entity. And if you recognize it, then there's an awareness there. Without awareness, often you can easily be run by your emotions. And that means the emotion, whether it be, let's say it could be anger, it could be sadness, could be anxiety, whatever it may be, deep regret, jealousy, envy, whatever it is, the emotion, this energy invades, which at first you might feel in the body, it then rises up into your mind, and then it controls your thinking. So when you feel deeply negative, then or angry, then the emotion rises into your mind, and every thought reflects the emotion that you feel, because the emotion is thinking through you. And the emotion is feeding on your thoughts. So the loop happens, the vicious circle. The emotion creates thought, and the thought amplifies the emotion. So in the case of anger, you get more and more angry. The more you think about it, the more angry you get. Until finally you lash out, completely lost. And of course, if it's a child also experiences that. Sometimes some children have temper tantrums, and or they may other very violent emotions. Some children have learned that the only way they can get attention from their parents is by displaying violent emotions, because otherwise parents don't give them attention. So a child would say, as you know, if you're probably aware of the term I use, pain body. Pain body is the term I use for an accumulation of old emotion that still lives in you. It's unrecognized as emotion. It lives in you as an entity. It's an accumulation of negative emotion, or often goes back to early childhood. an accumulation of negative emotion that hasn't left you, that dwells in your body somewhere, and I call it the pain body. And it's helpful to look at it as a little entity, almost an entity that lives in you, a gremlin that lives in you. And sometimes it's dormant for periods of time, but it cannot stay dormant forever. It has to occasionally rise up into your mind, and then suddenly you get taken over by this old emotion. Sometimes it's triggered by an event, and you do usually know it's the pain body when the reaction to a triggering event is out of proportion to the triggering event. The reaction is far greater than would be warranted by the triggering event, and that usually means it has triggered old latent emotion in you, the pain body. It's come to life, and then it takes over your mind. And you are no longer you then. You are the pain body. You are the old emotion that lives through you. If you have a partner, the partner doesn't know you well yet, you've only just moved in together or got married, and then the partner is suddenly surprised that you are no longer you. You're some weird, awful jerk that, what is this? You may not know it's the pain body because you just think you made a terrible mistake. But your partner's pain body may awaken yours. And then you have a wonderful drama and the pain body loves not only negative thinking, because every negative thought thought is energy. It feeds the emotion, and the emotion gets even stronger. Then you have another thought and feeds. This is the loop. And so it is also when you feel very bad about your life, you're very unhappy about your life, what you call your life. It's a narrative. What you call your life is a narrative. It's a sequence of thoughts in your mind that are repetitive. The repetitive sequence of thoughts is what you call your life. And for many people, this thing that they call my life is a huge, burdensome, dreadful thing that they carry around, that is a very unhappy thing, my life. Whenever I start thinking about my life, I get more and more unhappy. I'm not talking about me, I'm just, whenever I think about my life, I get more and more unhappy. And the more unhappy I get, the more I want to think about it. I call it what arises here is the addiction to unhappiness. It's actually addictive. No, why is it addictive? Because the emotion wants more of it. It's more of itself. It wants to be fed by the thinking that reflects the same energy with it's the vibrational frequency, so to speak, of the emotion. So every negative thought feeds the negative emotion. A positive thought cannot feed the negative emotion. A thought that, oh, what a beautiful sky, isn't it? This gives the emotion doesn't want that doesn't feed it. Or my life is so wonderful. No, it's not. The emotion loves the thoughts, but it's not only the thoughts. What it loves even more is to get the same emotion from others. And this is how the pain body operates. It then goes to whoever is around you at the time, your partner or at work or family member. And the emotion will then speak through you and say something negative in order to provoke a similar emotion in the other person. It's all unconscious. It's crazy, but it's normal. And so and again, here we have, it's the unobserved mind, lack of awareness. The unobserved mind gets taken over. It gets taken over by toxic thoughts. It gets taken over by emotions that arise. They could be your old emotions from the past, the pain body, that come up periodically and then subside once you've had a drama in your relationship lasting for an hour or two or the whole day. Then the pain body subsides, and the next day you wake up, you're a bit more conscious again, and the emotion has subsided. Your mind is not quite as crazy as yesterday. It's still not conscious, but not quite as crazy as yesterday. And you wake up, and then, you can't even remember what it was all about, the drama that you had with your whoever it was. You think, how did it all start? It didn't matter how it started. The pain body needed it, wanted it. So the lack of awareness, through lack of awareness, you are at the mercy of your emotional fields. So the moment awareness comes in, the emotion may still be there, but you're no longer totally possessed by it or trapped in it. It's still there, but at least there's an observing presence there. And that's an enormous step forward. So whenever you feel emotion arising that is of a very negative kind, let's come back for a moment to what I said about telling yourself how unhappy you are or how awful your life is or how awful other people are, or whatever this narrative may be. Then recognize that there is this very strong energy in you, the emotional, mental energy. They've come together, and suddenly be the observer. Say, for the past hour I've been thinking bad things about my life. But is it really that bad? Because I'm sitting here, breathing, looking at the plant and the sky, and feeling the aliveness in the body. You're beginning to get out of your narrative and into the present moment. The only place where there's freedom from the past, from the conditioned mind, conditioned by the past, is the present moment. So it's always to become aware is inseparable from present moment. The power of the present moment arises the moment you become aware. And aware is you are the observer of your inner states. And then you're no longer at the mercy of your inner states. Freedom arises. And so the emotion, for example, cannot renew itself anymore through using your mind, because then you say, I don't want that. You recognize a dysfunctional way in which the emotion is linking up into your mind, and you come into the present moment. And again, breathing and deep breathing deep into the abdomen a few times, and your attention follows the breath. That's the important part. And then you feel the aliveness that pervades the entire body. And there may still be an emotion in there. It may not have gone away immediately. There's still whatever it is, the anxiety, the fear, the heaviness or the anger. You can still feel it somewhere in you, but you're not consumed by it anymore. It's still there, and you can live with it. It's not that bad because you are the awareness that's around it. And as as the awareness deepens, it begins to, the way I put it, transmute the energy that was trapped in the emotion. It was energy that got trapped in early childhood very often. And through the awareness, it gets, because the awareness also means that you allow it to be there in this moment. It's not renewing itself through your mind, but in this moment, this is what you feel. Awareness allows, gives it space, is the space for it. There it is. I feel this, can still feel the anxiety. But because you're aware, the anxiety does not rise up into your mind and controls your thinking anymore. That's the important difference. And so you feel it. And then it gradually diminishes. It doesn't renew itself anymore. But you allow it while it's there. You say, well, there it is. And you may be able to feel other parts of the body that are actually fine. Anxiety may be here in your chest area, but in your hands are fine. You feel the energy in your hands and your feet and your arms and a lot of the rest of your body. You feel that aliveness. That's how you begin to be free of the pain body or any, no longer at the mercy of emotional energies. And that again, children could learn that easily at school by the game playing, for example. And parents can teach their children, if children have bouts of anger, for example, sometimes some children do, it's not uncommon. This could be already the pain body in the child. After it's happened, talk to the child and say, what was it? What happened yesterday when you started screaming and throwing things? What was that? What did you feel? What can you paint it? What would it look like if you make a picture of it? What color is it? Does it have a name, that thing that comes into you from time to time and makes you throw things? What does it have a name? If it had a name, what name would it have? And by asking these questions, the awareness in the child grows, awareness of it. Could be done as games, even as playing it out in games at school and so on, so that it's fostering the awareness in children as the most important subject in school. The foundational subject at school, of course, should be awareness. I mean, is that so difficult to understand? The most consciousness is the primordial subject that underlies all other subjects at school. And then that's how it starts. So now most of us do it as adults. But what could have perhaps been done in a more enlightened civilization at school, we do it and that's fine. At least it's happening now. And eventually, it may even reach politicians and media people. Eventually, even they may be destined to become conscious. So, in the meantime, I recommend that you're very careful with linking into the collective at the present time, especially. Be very careful when you connect with social media, mainstream media, whatever media it is, because in many ways, it is toxic and very unconscious. So you wouldn't voluntarily expose yourself to a a virus that's quite dangerous. You wouldn't go out and say, okay, well, I'll go to an environment where many people are infected with this virus and hope for the best. I wouldn't do that. In the same way, be very careful when you link into those forms of media, because a lot of what's going on there is a viral infection of the collective. So yes, a minimum to know what's going on, that's fine. You want to know what's going on. But beyond that, you do not need to listen for 1, 2, or 3 hours of 5 people on the screen talking to each other how dreadful the situation is, and because you absorb that. And don't expose yourself to unnecessary risks of catching collective mental viruses. Of course, the more present you are, the more immunity you have, but still, you wouldn't even want to, even if you have the immunity, why expose yourself to that? It's more important that if you contribute to the discourse through social media or whatever, if you use any of these things, whatever they're called, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, or whatever, just make sure that everything you put out is conscious. It's not a reactive thing, not attacking anybody. Don't confuse the virus, that mental virus that people get infected by, with who they essentially are. So whatever you put out, make sure it's something of a constructive nature that does not contribute to human unconsciousness, but diminishes human unconsciousness. So it's a wonderfully challenging time we live in, but that's a good thing. So, emotions, awareness, catch the emotion as it arises, especially if old emotion, pain body emotion, detect it, recognize it for what it is. Then you've already won half the battle, so to speak. Recognizing it for what it is, emotion, old emotion. Stay present as the observer, the witness. So you are here to bring sanity into this world. That's a good life purpose, to bring consciousness. One could even define this as your main life purpose, to bring consciousness into this world, the light of consciousness. You be the light